as you, sorry, I forgot to turn that on. Kapalbhati breath is about the strong exhale as you contract the abs. So what I'd like to do, I think most of you have had experience with this, is for 5 minutes, we are going to practice Kapalbhati breath. For those who are new to this, or for those who feel anxious when they're doing it, only do a set of 10 repetitions, and then take some normal breaths until you feel ready, and then start again. For those of you who are used to this breath, maybe you want to do the whole 5 minutes in a constant Kapalbhati breath. All righty, so I will time us. Go ahead, I'm going to give you the 4-minute mark so you have an idea of where we are. Go ahead and start. That's the 4-minute mark. If you'd like, just take a long exhale and breathe normally. Continue with this soft breath. And let's mindfully try to elongate the exhale now. And as we come into the rhythm of that longer exhale, let's observe how our belly is soft in the inhale, and we're still slightly tensing the abdominals as we elongate the exhale. This is also a wonderful exercise in disciplining the movements of the mind by following the relaxation in the inhale and the activation in the exhale. We're going to stay here for actually about 2 more minutes with this breath. If you find that you're getting anxious, that this is a challenge for you, and that's perfectly normal, it is for everybody to keep the slow, mindful breath, go back to Kapalbhati breath. Maybe do a set of 10 repetitions and then come back to the slow breath, all right? I'm going to time us for 2 minutes. Go ahead. And then in rhythm, just take your next exhale. Release the mudra, open the eyes. Let's come into child's pose. Again, use any props you need. Today, I just wanted to, as you're getting into child's pose, I really wanted to show you that sometimes for physical reasons or other reasons, we don't have time to do a more physical warm-up to initiate our yoga practice that day. But just with pranayama and with some soft breathing, we can warm up the body just as well if we're mindful about it. So let's all meet in our child's pose. Again, remember, use any props you need to. If your shoulders are feeling stiff, bring your hands behind you, palms up next to your feet. And with a nice seated posture, and now with the child's pose, ankles, knees, hips are gently being opened up. We went from a nice straight spine to a curved spine in child's pose. From here, push up and let's come into a neutral tabletop. Cow and cat pose. Go ahead, you know how to do it. Nice and slow. Really loosening up the back of the neck. Feeling that nice undulation in the spine. If you're feeling a little tight in the abdominals because of the conditioning class yesterday, this is really wonderful to start loosening up the front of the body. And then let's all meet in neutral tabletop. Then come into thread the needle, right side. Inhale, lift the right arm up. As you exhale, thread the needle. Hold here. Again, if you're feeling any tension in the neck, you may want to change the angle of your hips, move them forward or back. You can also put a little cushion underneath the side of your head to help. And then to come out, inhale, push back up to neutral tabletop. And let's do the other side. Inhale, bring the left arm up. As you exhale, thread the needle. And then hold here. Come in out as you inhale. Come back to neutral tabletop. Exhale, let's sit back on our heels and come into Vajrasana. What I'd like to show you so that you can realize for yourself just how powerful the Kapalbhati breath is that when we do Kapalbhati breath in this position, you feel a really strong pressure downward through the pelvis. That pressure is what is energizing, in part, the lower limbs, which is why I say it's a really nice breath that we can do for warming up. Now, we don't want to lose all this energy out through the pelvis, but this is just so that you can see how strong that energy is. So remember Kapalbhati breath, inhale, relax, exhale. It's an explosive exhale through the nose with an explosive tension of the abdominals back. So you're tensing the belly button back towards the spine. So let's just do 10 reps just to see how this feels compared to when you were sitting in a cross-legged position. Ready? So breathe normally. And then let's begin. Ready? Exhale, 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 exhale. Continue. And then a long exhale and relax. So that pressure, that downward pressure, is the movement of energy going through the lower body down to your feet. Now, if some of you want to sit in this position and you understand what the Muladhara Bandha is, how to engage that, then that's what I would recommend. That's a more advanced practice, so don't worry about it. I chose to sit like this for a long time because I couldn't open my hips. But the only way to do this in a safe manner and a manner that makes sense to get the full benefits of Kapalbhati is to engage the Muladhara Bandha. All right, that's just a caution. All right, let's come into Dandasana. Go ahead, grab your belt. Put it on the right foot. Let's scoot down my mat a little bit. And then as you exhale in the most controlled way you can, let's go ahead and lay down. I started in Dandasana because I wanted to ensure that my hips were nicely squared off as I first laid down. Now, doing hamstring lengthening when we're laying down in a supported position really, really protects the back. So if you have any issues, muscular or skeletal, along the spine, this is the way to lengthen your hamstrings. So check that your hip points are still squared off. Just put your hands there. Good. From here, using a pelvic tilt, let's raise the right leg. Take a breath in. Exhale. Feel the contraction in the abs. Feel that slight tilt without tensing the buttocks, and then you just float the right leg up. As it comes into position, you can move your hands along your belt. It's very important here that your hips remain squared and that the extended leg, the left leg, the hip, the knee, and the toes are all pointing up as in one unit. We're not letting the left leg pull out to the outside or the inside. Just going to switch directions. It's also important here that our chest and our shoulders are nicely equally against the mat and squared off. So let's just hold here. If you're feeling a lot of discomfort through the pelvis, through the hips, go ahead and bend the left knee, plant the left foot behind the buttocks, but still in line with the hip points. So my foot is right underneath my buttocks in terms of being in line. It doesn't have to be close to the buttocks. It can be a foot and a half away. This is really nice to free up any discomfort you had in the pelvis or even the lower back as you lengthen the right hamstring. So you can play with that. Let's hold here. Please observe, where is your chin? There's a tendency that when we're lengthening the hamstring that for some reason we shorten the neck muscles and we bring the chin up. Let's bring the chin into neutral position, which allows the back of the neck and the shoulders to relax. Hold this for a little longer. Now, why do yoga teachers ask you not to fidget when you're doing these kind of lengthening poses? Well, even if I move, like right now I'm talking, but if I move my little finger or my knee, I'm creating tension in the body, which is interrupting that circuit of relaxation that we're trying to develop by keeping still, by breathing deeply, and then even the thoughts we have, the emotions that we feel, that can cause tension, breaking that circuit of relaxation. So that's why we try and hold as still as possible when we're lengthening, Because what we're trying to do is release tension, not only in the body, but through our breath and through the thoughts and emotions that we're feeling. If you find it a challenge to keep your thoughts calm, that's when the yoga teacher says, just concentrate on every inhale and exhale you take. So on your own, for the next 5 breaths, let's see if we can keep your mental focus only on your breath. Go ahead. Switching positions, take the belt into your right hand, extend your left arm out to the side, palm up. And now as you exhale, allow that right leg to go to the right, opening up the hip in a different direction. Maybe your foot touches the ground, maybe it doesn't. Don't worry about it. What you want to do is feel a nice opening through the inner thighs. And let's see how much we can really relax that hip joint. Now, as you're doing this, there may be a tendency or temptation to let the left buttocks come off the mat. We still want to have contact on the left buttocks, the left leg. The left leg is not changed. The hip points are still squared off towards the sky. Now, for some of you, you can hold the weight of your leg with your right hand. If that is proving uncomfortable, go ahead and close the angle a little bit. And let's challenge ourselves for the next 5 breaths. Let's see if we can only focus on our breath, not allowing other thoughts to come into our mind space. Go ahead. On an exhale, we're going to raise the right leg back to the original position. So take a breath in, exhale, contract, feel that tilt, and then just lift the right leg back up so the foot is facing the sky. From here, let's release the belt and bring our hands either underneath the thigh or the calf of the right leg. As you exhale again, raise the shoulders off the mat. And now let's see if we can bring the right leg towards our forehead and our forehead towards the leg. You may or may not touch, don't worry about that. Don't lose contact with that left leg. Resist the temptation to open up the right hip. You still want your hip points nicely squared off. Let's hold here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Keeping your hands on your leg, gently bring the head back down to the mat. Observe where your chin is, adjust your chin. And now let's release the leg, bring your hands out to the sides. And a little spinal twist over the left hip. So before you do that, make sure your hip points are squared off. Your left leg is one unit, the hip, the knee, and the foot is all in one line. As you exhale, roll over that left hip, bringing the right leg towards the left. You're looking to the right. Now, of course, there was a slight turning of the left leg, the extended leg on the bottom, which is fine, but let's do our best to keep it all in one unit from hip to knee to foot. So ideally, we're trying to keep both knees straight, nicely extended. I have a slight flexion in both ankles. If that's not possible, go ahead and bend the knee just a little bit as needed. Let's stay here. Again, on your own, let's challenge ourselves. 5 nice breaths. Focus only on the inhale and the exhale. Go ahead. And then coming back to the original position all together, take a breath in. As you exhale, feel the abdominal contraction, that slight tilt, and then you just float the leg back up. Go ahead, bring your hands to the belt, and as you exhale, let's see if we can bring the leg a little closer to the body. Really feel a nice lengthening through the hamstring. With the lateral opening to the right and the left, we freed up some of the stagnation in that hip, which probably you're noticing because you have a little more lengthening in your hamstring right now than you originally did. Keep holding. As you exhale, let's bring that right leg so it's at 90-degree angles to your left leg. And from here, bend the right knee and come into a supported tree pose. Right knee is to the outside. The right foot is resting gently against the inside of the left thigh. Again, check that your hip points are still squared off. Go ahead and put a prop underneath that right knee as needed. If you're comfortable here, go ahead and relax the arms out to the side, palms up. Do your best not to let that left leg fall out to the outside. It's still nicely lined up, toes, knee, and hip point. And again, this is a wonderful time to work on that mental discipline. So bring the focus An internal focus right between your eyebrows right now. Keep that focus there for 5 breaths. Go ahead. As you exhale, release that focus, and let's bring the right knee up towards the sky, planting the right foot on the mat next to the left leg. As you exhale, extend the right leg down. Take a hold of your belt, and let's put the left foot now into the loop of your belt. Check that your hips are nicely squared. And then all together, take a breath in, exhale, contract, tilt, and let's bring the left leg up. As you get into position here, it's the same thing. You really want to think about where are your hip points, integrity of that right leg, soft shoulders, chin is in neutral position. If you haven't done it already, go ahead and close your eyes. As we hold, remember we're doing our best not to fidget, physically or mentally. Let's challenge ourselves for the next 5 breaths to bring our mental focus only to the inhale and exhale. Go ahead. Release your belt, bring your hands behind your thigh or calf. On your next exhale, raise the shoulders off the mat, and let's pull the leg towards the torso. Stay here. To come out, leave your hands where they are. As you exhale, gently bring the head back down. Watch the position of your chin. Exhale again. Let's allow the left leg to come back to that 90-degree angle. Go ahead, hang on to your belt. And then as you exhale, open up the left leg to the left side. Feeling a nice opening through the hip joint this way. And for most of us, there's a bit of a pull on those inner thighs. Now, once you get into this position, if you can open up the angle, meaning bringing the foot a little closer towards your head, feel free to do so. If you need to close the angle, bringing the left foot a little closer to the extended right foot, go ahead. Just find where you feel a nice lengthening and opening through that left hip. If you're comfortable, have the right leg, or I'm sorry, the right hand extended out to the side, palms up. Remember, don't lose the integrity of that right leg, nor contact of the right hip and buttocks on the mat. And let's hold here. Remember, we're developing that circuit of relaxation with stillness and attention to the breath. Let's stay here for 5 more breaths. And to bring the leg back up to the original position, take a breath in. Exhale, contract, feel that little bit of the tilt, and then just bring the leg back up. From here, let's bend the left knee and come into a supported tree pose. Both arms are extended out to the sides, palms up. Use any prop you would like underneath the left knee as needed. Check the integrity of your extended right leg. Make sure it's still nicely in one unit. Let's hold. Coming into a spinal twist, a little bit different than the other side. Bring the left foot back onto the mat beside the inner right thigh. From here, as you exhale, you roll over the right hip and you allow the left knee to come on the outside, left foot on the outside of the right leg. You're looking to the left. Let's do our best to keep the extended right leg nicely lengthened. And let's hold here. And further developing that mental discipline, let's stay here for 5 breaths. Focus only on the inhale and only on the exhale. Go ahead. And let's come back to center. Take a breath in. As you exhale, contract, feel that tilt, and just roll right back over. Left knee is in the air, left foot is on the ground. As you inhale, extend the left leg up towards the sky. Take a hold of your belt once more. And let's see if we can lengthen that hamstring once more. And then to come out all the way, take a breath in. As you exhale, slowly extend that left leg back up towards the sky and then down to the mat. Let's bend both knees, roll over to one side, and then push ourselves back up to a seated position. Go ahead and grab a cushion or a block because now it's time for Hanuman Asana. We've done a nice slow warm up. Time for the side splits. All right, so remember, stand on your knees. Put your cushion or your block, I'll use a block, you can see it better, in front on the left side. Shift your weight to the right knee so that you can free up the left foot and step over the block. Then bring your hands to the mat and you're going to slide your back foot behind you as you come into this really nice pose. Now, it's important that your hip points, to the best of your ability, are nicely squared off towards that left foot. You may want to put this block, for some of you, it may be underneath the left thigh. For others, it will be closer to the pelvis or underneath the right thigh, depending on really how flexible and in different ways the pelvis is, and also the hip flexors and the hamstring. All right, once you're in position, just kind of hold it. I'll be quiet and let's just breathe. And then to come out, just allow your body to go to the left hip. So you're kind of falling off to the side, which lets you bend that right knee. Bring the right leg in front of you and shake it out. Go ahead, bend both knees so that you can stand on your knees. Let's bring that block to the right side of the mat. And then shift the weight to the left to free up the right foot, step in front. More or less place the block where you think you're going to need it. With the support of your hands, go ahead, bring that left leg behind you. Extend the right leg in front. And let's see where we are here on this side. And let's hold. So it's interesting. In this pose, you may feel, for some people, you feel more tension in the hamstring. For others, it's in the hip flexor. For others, it may be in the lower back. It's all normal. You may feel tension in all three places. Let's just hold here again for 5 more breaths. And then with the support of your hands, you just sort of let yourself fall to the right hip. Release the block, bend that left knee, bring the left leg in front and shake it out. As long as we've got our block with us, let's come into a supported waterfall position. So you're going to put the block behind you and then lay down on it and bring it into a position at the lower back so that you can easily lift both legs up towards the sky. Now, the block in this position should be such that there is no tension in the back, lower, middle, or upper back. Your neck should be nice and free. If it's not, lower the feet and kind of figure out where to put the block once more. It's going to be somewhere in those last 5 vertebrae of your back, because those are fused and they don't move. Once you feel comfortable, you can always continue to hang on to the block for stability, but if you feel good, go ahead and release the arms to the sides, palms up. And just hold the position here. You'll also notice that where you put the block also depends where your legs are. If you have enough flexibility that your legs are right over your hips in a 90-degree angle, or even a little bit forward in the direction of your head, the placement of your block is going to be a little bit different versus if you do not yet have that flexibility in your hips or your hamstrings, and your legs have to be a little in the opposite direction of your head. If they're there, then of course you're going to place the block a little differently too. So these are all things you can play with. Try not to move your neck from side to side once you're in position. We're going to hold this for a little bit. So if your legs still get tired, go ahead and bend the knees. And this time, let's develop that circuit of relaxation and mental discipline for 10 breaths. Focusing only on the inhale and the exhale, go ahead. To safely come out of this position, let's bring our hands back to the block, bend your knees, and then one by one, place the feet flat on the mat behind your block. Lift the hips up a little bit, replace the block, not replace it, take it out. As your hips comes down, go ahead and extend both legs. Hands are by your sides, palms up, and you're in Savasana. And if you can enjoy your Savasana a little bit longer, please do. Have a wonderful day. If we're ready to come out, again, let's just take one more look at that circuit of relaxation that we've developed while we enjoyed Savasana. And then look at the pattern of your breath. And now let's bring movement back to the body, to the toes and the fingers, wrists and ankles. Knees and elbows. Hips and back. Shoulders, neck. And then together, let's roll over to our side. Some days you just want to stay here, right? It just feels so nice. All right, with the support of our hands, as you exhale, go ahead, push up. Let's come to a seated position. Bringing our hands into Chin Mudra. Close the eyes. Just relax into this breath once more. I think one of the basic goals of a yoga practice is to try and extend this period of mindfulness in our breath once we leave our yoga mat. So let's just Keep firmly in mind right now our breath, that feeling of mindfulness as we're sitting quietly. And challenge ourselves to extend this beautiful sensation throughout the day. All together, inhale, hands to heart center, and sharing the pranava one time. Take a breath in. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Exhale, bowing down to the teacher within. And inhale, come back up. Open your eyes. You're back in full awareness. Namaste, friends. Have a lovely day. Hope to see you tomorrow. Bye.